Masters radio show, River Rush Radio, WXRWL. I'm sorry, let me do that again. River Rush Radio, 104.1 FM, WXRWL. Music news and interviews for producers.
By producers.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try it again.
Yes.
Music news and interviews for producers.
By producers.
Yeah.
There it is. That's right.
It's going down.
Chiming in.
Got to
You know what
start
I'm
the
saying?
day.
You know what time it is, man. So, yo, this is crazy, man. 4 episodes. We're 4 episodes in. This is our 5th episode.
Man, applaud to that.
Yeah.
Applaud. Wow.
This is great.
Thank you for everyone that's listening.
Every single week, no days, no days off. This is what consistency looks like.
Yes.
That's right. Consistency is key.
This is what it looks like.
Indeed.
And I'm very proud. First and foremost, I'm very proud of my squad, man. Shout out to the Milwaukee Pad Masters.
Yeah. Shout out to
the squad that's here. They, you know what I mean? You know, we had an idea, and you're witnessing the execution.
That's right. Indeed. Witnessing the
Yes.
execution.
That feels great to say.
Yeah.
It has to be.
It feels great to say.
Yeah. Everything running smoothly. Great.
Can I say that again?
Go on
Can I say
ahead.
that again?
Say it again.
Can I say that again?
Say that one more.
Say it again.
You're witnessing the execution.
Yeah.
Listen how that rolls.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yeah. Gotta get
Working on my. I'm just working on my radio voice.
Yeah.
Working on my smooth jazz tunes
right.
and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we're on 104.1.
We're
so
on
we have to.
104.1
Yes, sir.
River West Radio.
Yeah.
FM WS. Did pause.
Pause.
That's crazy. Pause.
Yeah.
Again.
Yo,
Twice. Pause square.
That's right. Hey.
we got gnarly on the show today. We got gnarly music. Gnarly. I ain't finna add the music. This is gnarly, man. This is gnarly. Look, let me look. Okay, look. This is a different. This is gonna be a little different intro right here. It's gonna be a different intro because when I started finger drumming, it was a few people like this. Let me just get to the Mecca moment. The Mecca.
Roper man.
The Mecca.
Goodness, there was a few people that I looked at like, yo, how are they doing this?
Mm.
Now I have the same piece of equipment. I have a piece of equipment where, you know, I can manipulate 16 pads as well as they're doing. But I'm looking, I'm like, how are they doing that? So when I got in the game, when I got into finger drumming, it was just one of those things where I was like, yo, I have that. Let me see if I can do it. No, now I've already been a drummer. I've been playing the drums since I was 5, right?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things where it's like, yo, that's fire. Like they got this piece of, my first drum machine was the Boss DR5. Now you connect the dots.
Mm-hmm.
You connect the dots. It was mad pads on it,
Mm-hmm.
mad instruments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying drums and all, right?
Yes.
So here we have an NPC. I came out. Of course, I was in jail. Came out. My man's gave me a NPC. I started working with that, and I started like looking online. Started seeing some joints on Instagram and all that, and then Gnarly was one of the finger drummers that I stumbled across. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
This is all part of the intro, by the way.
Of course. No.
It's the whole history.
Please,
the facts.
That's the
Yes.
in you.
So I'm looking. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, her along with the Lisa Vasquez, Beats by J Black, Tracy Track, and of course, the Arab, the godfather of finger drumming, Arab music, and I would even say David Fingers Haynes. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Definitely.
You know, so but gnarly though, gnarly. Hey,
Gnarly.
I'm gonna say this. Here's my intro. Here's my intro for gnarly. Gnarly is not to categorize it like this, because like I don't no disrespect gnarly either. Best female finger drummer in the game in the world.
Can we
I agree.
repeat that?
Best. The
Yeah.
best female finger drummer in the world.
Yeah.
In the world. Yo, battle her then.
Right.
Battle her. I'll set it up for you. And I guarantee you, I'll put my money on Nolly. I guarantee that.
Oh yeah, that'll
I'll
be
put whatever I got in my pocket, bank account, and whatever. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee it. You know what I'm saying? She'll body you. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Word them up.
Facts.
So we're interviewing Nolly today. So if it's noise from Nolly, what's good, Molly?
Gnarly.
Yo, it's
Not-
good.
That-
Thank you for
was my
such an
intro.
intro, man.
That was my intro.
Like
That was my intro.
there's a lot of like seriously appreciate you. That's very, very kind of you.
Fire. Nolly fire. So
Fire.
But before we get into the full interview with Gnarly Music, first of all, you're in tune to the Pad Masters radio show, music news and interviews for producers.
By
Five
producers.
producers.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah.
we were on point with that one. Should we go over?
No.
Nah,
Yeah,
We're good.
We know.
We're
We
good.
good. We good.
We're fine.
River West Radio, 104.1 FM, WXRW.
LP.
P.
Now we're finna get into the Pad Masters news.
Yeah. That's
You know what I'm saying?
that's
So,
Yeah.
pause. But I know last episode we gave some shout outs. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to continue that with this episode, with episode 5. I want to give a major shout out to JP
Shout out.
and 414 Big Frank for
Yeah.
making
Let's go. That's big.
Milwaukee on the map.
For sure.
That's big.
Shout out to them boys.
the
Yeah.
billboard. The billboard?
Yeah.
Milwaukee artists making the billboard. I don't care what the number is.
Yeah. It could
Right.
be
I
it could
don't
be
care.
277th. I don't care.
Right.
And the
It's
people
for
I
us.
speak, I think JP made it like to like 35,
Somebody who was like
34.
Right.
ever within like
Can we find the
50.
real
Right.
numbers?
We were there.
Ever within
Oh my
50.
goodness. Yeah. Somebody.
Yeah.
Try to find the real numbers on that. But like we like,
Ever within 50.
yeah.
Both of them.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like 414 Big Frank made the what's the song called? I think it's called Fire Biddies or Eat Her Up. Like
I don't remember. Couldn't tell you.
Five
Huh.
biddies in the flow right now.
Let us-
Yeah. Eat her up, eat her up, eat her up.
Uh,
Hey,
Oh man.
everybody doing it. Everybody doing it. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So I think he like at like somewhere in the 50s. I think he 50. I think he 50. I think he 50 even. I think he at the billboard at 50 even.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Last time I seen, right?
Yeah. My nephew checked him out. Yeah. He actually referred me to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to this man, dog.
Yeah,
Like
man. Shout out to both. Shout out to JP. And I know JP was in like latest news as far as coming out as being bisexual and all that. Now, if I can have an honest Mekamala moment, I think that's probably one of the reasons why he made it to Billboard. And I'm thinking, I'm kind of pause too when I say this too, man. I'm gonna be on a camera one day, so just so I can go viral. I'm gonna be on camera one day. I'm gonna smile real hard and say I'm gay, right? But listen though. I'm happy.
Happy.
Right.
right.
That's what that means.
Damn.
That's what it means.
Right.
That's where the definition came from.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, it just
But I would say this.
a variation.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say this. I would bet my bottom dollar that that's how that happened. Because like, people love drama, especially Milwaukee. People love, so you'll hear something negative or quote unquote negative about somebody. It'll make you want to check them out, make you want to go to their joints, and make you want to listen. And that's what happens. That's what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So look, all that hate, I said it to say this, all that hating y'all be doing, got him on the billboard. How that
Right.
shout out JP. Shout out JP.
Right.
It's a method to the
Yo,
madness.
It's a method to the madness, man.
Right.
And like, you know, what? And it could be rather that's how he get down and rather not. You know what I'm saying? He said something that made y'all check his joint at, made y'all go and stream his joints. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shout out to y'all viewers for doing
Shout
it.
out to the viewers,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So like,
Clap for that too.
Right.
like
Clap, 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 clap.
y'all be out here hating, but y'all be helping. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you know what I mean? Just you know what I mean?
Whether
Stop
good,
hating.
yeah, whether good thoughts or bad, you know, I mean, you go and check the person out. You have no other option than to give them the credit they deserve.
You gotta give him the credit,
You
man.
you can't just walk this earth and navigate this earth without giving anyone they
Gotta
credit.
give him the credit, man.
Right. That's key to producer life.
Whether you like the song or not, rather you like, and
Yeah.
like shout out to the producers who made the joint. Shout out to the engineer that recorded it. Shout out to everybody that had any type of involvement in that records in both of those records. I don't know what's the name of, like I said, man, like I don't gotta know much information. All I gotta know is that somebody won. Then I'm a talk about it on the Pad Masters radio show. I
Right,
might not
right.
listen to that style of music,
Right.
but like one thing about me, if you from Milwaukee and you win, I'ma say I got a platform I can bring you up. So this we doing over here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, from
Word.
what I seen, the latest album is for the city. So I mean,
Word.
it makes a lot of sense.
Word.
Because basically that was it right there. Like
Word.
for the city. That's what
Right.
we do, you know, for the city. So he
Mhm.
put an album out that says that, and we on the same page. So
Word.
shout out to the title of that album because we
Right.
we already running with that. So
Word. Exactly.
Milwaukee don't get enough credit as it should, but this here
Yeah.
just proves that moment that anywhere, anything
Billboard.
is possible.
Billboard.
You know,
yeah.
Billboard.
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 Come on, man.
Hey,
Hey, yo,
know-
you got some news to share
yes,
too, right?
Yes, I do. Also, a female artist who is up and coming right now out of Milwaukee by the name of Jonah Dene. I actually witnessed this young lady start to blossom into the artist that she is now, and she's the
Word.
first rapper, and then female rapper, and now she's the first rapper. Period. First of all,
From where?
from Milwaukee
Let's go.
All right.
to perform at the Milwaukee Symphony.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow. Whoa.
This
That's
doesn't happen. This doesn't
crazy.
happen for rappers at the Milwaukee Symphony. Now you can be an R&B artist, you can be all the other artists in different genres, and you got a better chance of doing that.
You got a better chance of just playing an instrument
Right.
than going there.
And
You know what I'm
of
saying?
course, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to her because she's from an organization in the city, you know, a Milwaukee youth organization by the name of True School.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yes,
to
sir.
True
True
School.
School.
Shout out
You know
to
what I'm saying?
Shout out Shu and Fidel. Shu and
Right. Shout
Fidel.
out
What's up,
to
y'all?
Fidel.
Hey, y'all do it.
Love y'all.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Love y'all, y'all.
Love y'all. The things that y'all doing over there is just amazing.
Absolutely.
A lot of youth come through there and they learn a
I
lot.
love
from
them
that.
so much. I love them
Right.
so much.
They learn a lot of youth come through there, and I was actually an instructor for a little bit there too. So you know, I did production with the students. You know, that was my class. I was teaching, you know, beat making, man. But she was in the
Yeah.
art of MC, and you know, obviously she was linking with my students, and they started putting stuff together, and I'm like, wow, this young lady is very talented,
Nice.
very very talented.
What's the name again?
Jonah Dene.
Jonah Dene.
Yeah, check her out, man, because she's dope. And shout out to Jonah. I'm like a proud dad right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No
You know
doubt,
what I'm
no
saying?
doubt.
Because I watched her, you know, I've been seeing her for the
And like,
last few
yo,
years.
And like, shout out to True School too, man. Just,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
For sure.
because True School really like True School, like my man said, it's an organization here in Milwaukee catered to inner city youth that has a passion on learning the arts
It's
of
your
all
move as
elements
well.
of hip hop.
Yeah.
Yep, your move.
Your
Shout out to your move,
Rock
too.
Hell.
Shout out
Your
to
move,
Elements of- yeah.
MKE.
Shout out to Rocky. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Rocky and Super Ego. Shout out to
Super
them.
Ego,
P.O.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Tito, yeah.
yeah.
Y'all give me a lot of
Definitely.
homework. I got a lot of homework to
Yeah,
do.
man. These
Yeah,
guys
man,
is
you better do,
they're
do
out.
your studies.
yeah, they're
Hey,
doing
Do
hey,
your
man,
studies.
I come out with
they're
A pluses all
definitely
the time.
putting in the work.
No doubt.
I come up with A pluses all the time.
All the
Player.
time,
Nothing.
player.
Yo, so
That wraps it up for the news.
it
Yeah.
wraps it up for the news. The Pad Masters radio show. You know what I'm saying? River West Radio 104.1 FM WXRW
LP
music news and interviews for producers.
By
by
producers.
producers.
Let's give money. I like
Yeah.
that.
There we go. There we
The
go.
whole
We got it
show.
on sync
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode
Learn your dance
Episode
steps.
5.
episode 4.
Episode
Episode 4
five.
we got
Five.
episode 5.
Episode
I'm sorry, my
5.
bad.
Yes,
Episode 5. Correction. 5. Cinco. 5.
Yeah.
That's right.
She got the one and only gnarly music. Yo, I'm so geeked right now.
I
Gnarly.
see. He can barely contain himself. He can barely
Yeah,
contain himself
yeah.
over here.
Man. This man is like, it's like his first time going on stage performing and he got stage fright. Like,
Gnarly cold, man. This is one and only, man. So we finna kick this off right now. Like not finna ask the basic questions, and then we finna spiral into some other joints. Can you give us your background as far as just your music background? Not even just finger drumming, just your entire music background. What's Gnarly's music background?
Well, I guess it starts when I started playing piano at the age of 6. So from when I was a little kid up until now, I've played piano. And then at school, I like studied music as well. I did what we call a music GCSE here in the UK, which is like when you're like 15, 16, that kind of age. Carried it on into A level and then university. I did a sound arts and design degree and then just kept producing and stuff and doing that on the side as like as well as working like a normal job and then got into finger drumming like probably about 8 years ago now, I'd say. And then yeah, it's just it's
Wow.
basically like my whole life, I just like always loved doing music and always wanted to do it.
Right. Dope.
man,
Super dope.
we
like
are
that.
not gnarly. So can I ask you this? I have to ask you, seeing that you just brung this up, when did you start realizing, like, I know this may be a question that you've been asked before, like that talent for music. Like, what was that moment that made gnarly?
Well, I guess I mean like when I started using the name Gnarly was when I think my production took a turn because before that, like before I even started producing, I actually used to be an MC and like I used to really love rapping and that's how I got into making beats in the first place. So like I was doing music that like I was doing music, but it was kind of like, I was doing a lot of songwriting and stuff and then as I got into producing, I realized that I just liked producing more. I feel like a lot of the time music has like something like you can express more in music than you can with words sometimes. Like, there's not always like a word to describe the way you're feeling in the same way that like you could play a certain chord and that resonates with you a lot more. So yeah, I'd say like that kind of like that turn in my production where I started to figure out what my sound is. That's when I'd say like gnarly became a thing.
Right. You found your identity right there, right? That's what
Yeah.
happened. Right?
Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, man.
That is really cool. So check this out. Like, so now here's the thing, we know you like rocking with the what I've seen is the machine a lot in some of your videos, but I also seen that you use a live. And can you tell me about that other situation that I seen that I seen you doing boom bap joints on?
Yeah.
But
Can
the
you tell us,
Chinese letters on it.
right? Can you tell us about that piece of equipment specifically? And we can get into, obviously the live and the machine and everything like that. But I need to know about that one.
I mean, there's a few different controllers that I use, so I'm not 100% sure which one it is that
But it
you
was
you
great.
mean,
It
like
was
It's a small gray one with the
Yeah.
Chinese letters on it.
Yeah, not the rectangle joint that kind of looked like that, like the old Roland sampler. Like, no, not that one, but
Okay.
it was a gray
It's
joint
the
that was a
joint with
little wider.
the Chinese,
The
there's Japanese, Chinese. It's some
Yeah, is it like
Asian letters on
Toshiba or
it.
something? Like,
the one that looks like a big calculator, is that the one you mean?
Yeah, that's the one that looks
Oh,
like a
Yeah,
calculator.
that's it, right?
yeah.
That
The
joint
big
right there.
calculator with the beat.
One of them,
Like, what is
Yeah.
one of
that?
those store calculators
Yeah.
that they got in the old school corner store.
Like Texas Instrument.
Instrument.
TI-20.
Um, there's the teenage engineering, the KO2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like kids teenage engineering, they do like the OP1, like the little keyboard, and then they were doing pocket operators as well, which were like these little mini
Yeah.
things that you
Yeah.
could sample on.
Very
The KO2 is like the upgrade. It's like the big brother of the pocket operators. So like it works like a sampler. You can like drop different sounds into it, and then you can like finger drum on it. I'd say it's like a little bit different to having like proper pads because they're like a little bit more clicky.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a sampler. Like there's definitely a lot more limitations to it as well, but I kind of like that because it's like you have to think of like creative ways to like be able to
Mhm.
chop things up.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to find a way to twerk it, as we say around these parts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to find a way to twerk it.
twerk, tweak. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to know your equipment.
Yeah.
You get the equipment, you got to sit there and study it. And that right there is how you make a genius out of music for
Mhm.
yourself too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No, touch multiple things.
Yeah.
So you started playing piano at the age of 6, and then what did you like? What kind of paths did you grab first, or like what did you gravitate towards? To learn how to, do the finger drumming and all that.
Oh,
The
it's like her first drum.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
so her
first
first drum machine.
Yep,
For
first
drum
drum
machine.
machine.
I mean, the first set of pads that I had was the Novation launch pad, like the first generation one.
Mm.
But when I got that, I'd never seen finger drumming before, and so like I wasn't using it for finger drumming. I was using it to just like launch clips on Ableton and stuff.
Hmm.
But I guess after that, I ended up getting a push, like the first gen push. And that was kind of when I started to finger drum a little bit. But I didn't really like the size of the pads on the push because like I find them quite small. And 64 pads, like there's a lot you can do with it, but me personally, I like having 16. I feel like you kind of get to know the pads and like how to play them a little bit better than if you had just like loads and loads of like 64 pads. It's just a bit too much for me.
Yeah.
But I like when I got the push, I kind of again was still mainly using it as a control surface for like Ableton. And it was only when I bought the machine, I got a MK2 off eBay secondhand. And it was only when I got that I actually started to like do finger drumming.
Right. Right.
That's dope, man.
That's super dope.
Hey, so what? So what actually got you into finger drumming? Like what actually what was it that made you earlier
Transition.
I kind of like said like how like I got into it from watching y'all.
Right. What
Right.
So like it's like how did you get into finger drumming? Like what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, it was kind of similar. Like when I started, there was a few people that I'd seen online doing it, but then there was also a couple of people that I'd seen like at gigs, not finger drumming in the same way that like you and me finger drum, but like as in part of their live sets, they'd have a beat machine and just play a couple beats on it and stuff. I was like looking for a way to become more of a live performer than just a bedroom producer. And then when I saw like a few videos of like, Jeremy Ellis and like uh I think there's like Spin Scott as well and like Beats by J Black as well. Like, the OG finger drummers, like Arab music and stuff.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen them, and there was like one video I watched of Jeremy Ellis where he was like doing an interview and talking about finger drumming and saying about how he wanted to become like the best finger drummer in the world and like all this stuff. And I just felt really inspired by it. And I was like, oh, let me try doing this thing. It looks really fun. And I kind of fell in love with it. Like it's just really, really fun to do. Like even if even if like you're not good at it or whatever, it's just a fun thing to do. It's like, like with drummers, like you're just like getting all your frustration out by beating on the drums and
Right.
stuff. It's kind of the same thing, but on the pads.
Therapeutic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's when you switch stuff from a typewriter to stenographer fingers and stuff, just being so let's see here. I have another question too, because this was real interesting to me when I first caught it. So lockdown, there was a song you made called Blossom.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people, who doesn't know about her, she had made a song during lockdown called Blossom. And I had the honor of catching this video. Now, and like I say, millions of views for that video, and respect to you for that.
Right.
So, now you're right. So, where did that idea come from? Because we all were sitting in lockdown looking like dusty antique plates and we had nothing else to do. So, where did that idea come from?
I mean, it was exactly that. I had nothing better to do, and I like because I play a little bit of guitar and stuff as well. I picked up my guitar for the first time in ages, and I was like, "Oh, let me learn some new chords." And that's literally where it started. I just learned a few new chords, sat down, started playing them, and then like what I do when I film those videos is like as I'm recording the loop, I'll set up a camera and just film myself playing it in, and then like cut that all together for the video at the end of it. But yeah, it literally just started from there. Like I was like, oh, let me learn some new guitar chords, play those in, and then kind of built the rest of the beat around it.
Right. Yeah, and also you're a dope multi-instrumentalist, by the way,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything that you have put your hands on in your videos, I have heard nothing but greatness.
Right.
So
Oh, thank you.
For real.
Thank you.
Fire. Like, I mean, I don't think I could say that there's anything that I could critique heavily and be like, you could have did better on it. No, everything. And I'm subscribed to your page, so I get the notification, so I see every time you drop a new video or whatever, and it's just, you are the truth, gnarly, real talk. You're the truth.
I
right.
appreciate
The
that.
only
Appreciate
one that Mecca will not battle.
Right.
By
Right.
the way, the only one.
Like,
Don't want no smoke.
I don't think I want to smoke with Nolly. I really don't think I want. I really don't. Like, I would
I mean,
think.
I don't think I'm a battler, to be honest. Like, like the beats that I like to make, are, like super chill, So I feel like they're not like battle ready kind of beats.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, look,
I
if
just
you
think
lay,
the
yeah,
technique-
and no,
lay,
yeah,
the
you lay
and
the
technique,
platform
the
right,
finger
and that's the thing
technique,
is,
you
it's
know
all
what I'm
about the
saying?
platform in which people would judge or whatever, because it could be like, right, like you said, battle beats or whatever, or it could be like, no, just technique
It
in
could just be
general.
the
We
technique,
judging
right?
Right.
technique,
The finger drumming
and
technique.
that's
well, wait. So that kind of like you battled in V1, right?
In V1? No, I did a sample music
It's
festival.
like a rush. It's a beat battle in Russia. It was that joint that Trizzy Track had did the show for. He did a joint, and then like I think Moscow,
Yeah,
Mos
Mosquin. Yeah,
Mosvin,
Mosquin.
Mosvin.
Yeah,
He is fire. First of all, Mosvin
Mosvin.
yeah,
is
yeah.
fire. I
Mosvin.
think
Okay.
Mosvin actually won the Secret Sauce tournament. Actually,
Mhm.
matter of fact, since we're on the subject, can you talk about the Secret Sauce tournament? Because I think, I was just watching it like
Big Mac.
every now and again. I go back and watch those battles, and it's like I don't like judging battles, but like what I'm saying. Every day.
Yeah.
But like, can you just tell us about that whole idea and this? Because like I know we brought that up in the last episode with God Cloud, and we referred to Secret Sauce as kind of like the worldwide Olympics of finger drumming. If you can just talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I mean it was just essentially an online finger drumming battle that I'd set up. I kind of just had this idea of like doing it because everyone was in lockdown and like it felt like the right time and like to be able to get people to participate because I feel like it would be so much harder now, especially with the fact that it was people all over the world to like find a time where everyone could actually just like meet up online and have a. I think we were doing like sessions for like 2-3 hours at
Yeah,
one point.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean it was just really good fun. Like I feel like there's such a lovely like community of finger drummers online, and we kind of all speak to each other like through Instagram and stuff. So it was just really nice to like I guess get a face to face and like see people in real time playing over Zoom. So yeah, it was a really fun thing to do. I'd love to bring it back, but I feel like it would just be way too difficult to organize now.
Hey, if you need help, let me
Yeah,
know.
now that everything, well,
Need help, let me know.
hey, because everything is moving now. So that's the thing too.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it
Yeah.
still can happen though. Just
Yeah.
Definitely.
It felt
don't.
like a really special time, like in that time to be able to make something like that happen.
Right. And I totally agree with that too, because that was a more organic, it was organic,
Yeah.
because it's like, look, we all can't move right now. And this is the thing that everybody is tuning into, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was cozy, because I'm not gonna lie, when that was going on, I definitely was like hopping in front of my computer, and I
Yeah,
had my,
absolutely.
my monitor hooked up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting back looking at my TV, watching people, and it's just like, look, at least things can still happen this way,
Right.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, honestly, I think, my honest opinion on that, I think it's more easier. I think it's easier if you look at it different, right?
Mhm.
So I think so like finger drummers, they create content all the time anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when they're creating content and they're creating these finger drumming videos or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So you're pretty much generating what I would call cards
Yeah.
that you can play. So let's say, for instance, if we have a international battle like that, the content is already available. Just choose what you already made and
Right.
put that into the,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Play it
the
That
smart.
makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, that's kind of like what I didn't want to do though for the battles because I feel like when it's content, right, like you can set up a camera and you can do 100 takes until you get the perfect one.
Yeah.
Whereas in a battle, there's something very organic about the fact that you have to play live in front of people. It's like that. I feel like that's what makes the difference between someone who's like a novice or an amateur to
Sure.
someone who's like a pro.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a
That
good point.
is
That's
a
a
good
great point.
point. I
That's a
didn't I
great
didn't
point.
do- I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well
well,
explained.
yeah. Well, that it makes sense too, because yeah, some
Yeah.
people might choke. Some
Oh
people
yeah.
might choke when they know that they got that pressure on them. Like,
Exactly.
yes, it's so many
Shucks, let me
people.
start all over.
Right. Like,
Right.
oh man, I ain't hit that the way I was
Yeah,
supposed to.
Right.
Oh, dude, I got
yeah, yeah.
my hat down.
Freeze. Some people might freeze, and just straight be like, oh man, no, y'all looking at me. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
They just start all over
Yeah,
and they just start
yeah.
all over and just they'll just start all over. You just start
Yeah.
all over and just get it right
Well,
right the next time.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's the main thing though, is being
You
able
gotta
to
get that.
catch where you mess up and just keep moving. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When it's live, that's what happens, because sometimes it happens when you're doing live things.
It's okay to stumble a little bit.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
don't draw attention to your stumble. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You gotta be smooth.
Can't make a face. You can't
That's
be
it.
at the most you might, hey, because
If you stumble, do the same thing. Do the same thing you did on the next 4 counts. So it seemed like you made
yeah.
you
Yeah.
see game for the finger drummers out there.
right?
You use some
Yeah.
game. If you
Finger-
finger drumming, and if you make a mistake on that 4 count, do the same thing on the following 4 count. And so
Right.
make it seem like you meant to do it.
So basically,
do no
finger
game.
drumming tip is capitalize on your mistake right when you catch it.
That's a
Yeah,
finger drumming
yeah,
game right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
All right. Well,
So check this out, Marley. Gnarly. I said Marley. I'm sorry about that.
we know what you're thinking, buddy.
Yeah, it's fine, because it was like I was already getting ready for the question. You know what I'm saying? It just
Yep.
melted. But anyway, so who would you say is your influences? On what you do now. Like just is it other musicians? Is it other finger drummers? Was it an instructor you had, like who?
Family, whatever.
Right, family, like, because obviously you started playing at 6,
Right.
piano, so who were the influences? And then, like, was there other equipment around you beside the piano.
Yeah, yeah, because there's no reason you go Super Saiyan on 16 pads like that.
I mean, I guess it depends if you mean like musically or like as a finger drummer, because I guess that's kind of like
So
in
two,
a way two separate things, right?
yeah.
Well, let's start.
Um,
Let's start with the music. Just musically, I think. Is that
Yeah,
where you're going?
yeah, just yeah. Who influenced you musically? Just overall musically.
I mean, I'll be honest, like I'd say like everyone that I listen to, and that's like a lot of different music. Like I recently was feeling a little bit uninspired, like creatively with making music.
Mhm.
And because I've been in the studio like a lot this year, like making tracks and stuff. I kind of went back to all the music that I grew up on. And so like I feel like a lot of that stuff is kind of what molded me and my style. And I feel like because I listen to so many different types of genres,
Mhm.
that's had such a big impact on the fact that I've got a very original sound, I'd say. So like, I was listening to like literally like 90s pop bands, like like like
NSYNC
like
and Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC, yeah, Backstreet Boys, like Spice Girls, all that stuff.
You?
And then I moved on to
Spice
like
Girls.
90s. Yeah, like because when I was like a really little kid, that's kind of what I used to listen to, right? And then when I got a little bit older, I was listening to like 90s hip hop R&B, like all the classics and stuff, like Biggie and Usher and like Missy Elliott, Timberland. Like Timberland's been a huge influence on like my production style, I'd say. Um,
That's
That makes sense.
and then moving on to like my teenage years, which was kind of more like indie bands a lot of the time.
Mhm.
So like I don't know if you guys have got it so much in the States, but like in the UK, like indie bands are like really big here, or they were in like the kind of late 2000s,
Oh
early 2010s.
Mhm.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
a- and then I've kind of like come full circle and ended up back at like kind of the modern stuff that I'm listening to, which is like I get like there's one producer that I guess is probably my one of my favorite producers called Lido, and I was like trying to explain about what style of music he makes to someone the other day, and it like the way that I would describe it is like gospel and R&B meets Diplo.
hey.
Word.
Um, so yeah, I mean, like all of that kind of music that I grew up on, I'd say has had a massive impact on, my style and my sound and stuff. But yeah, in terms of producers, I'd say definitely like Timberland, um, Lido, and then like I'd say another UK producer who's called Swindle, who has a really unique style. If you've not heard of Swindle before, definitely go and check him out. He's incredible.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely would check out Swindle.
Yo,
Oh,
since we're on the topic of producers, I might as well just ask you this now. I was gonna wait till later in the interview. Um, I gotta ask everybody this as far as you.
it's all right.
Who's your top five finger drummers besides you? You know what I'm saying? But who's your top five finger drummers?
Who's my top five? Oh, it's hard,
I know, right? Yeah,
Yes.
It's
Dun,
really,
dun,
really hard.
dun.
it's difficult.
Because I feel like also it's kind of changed over time. Is like, more people have like evolved into it and stuff. I don't know, top five. I mean Beats by Jay Black, he's definitely like the GOAT at the moment. Like currently he's like probably the biggest finger drummer out there. You, Mecca, like you're like amazing, like
Right,
such a
Shout
right.
good
out
finger
to Mecca.
drummer.
Whoa.
Shout out. Look at him. He's
Like
posting.
your drum style is so crazy. Like I really love like all the hi-hat patterns and stuff that you do. And I think that because you're like a real drummer, like you play acoustic drums, I think that really like translates into your style of finger drumming as well. There's something special about like people that are real drummers who also do finger drumming because I feel like you guys know like crazy patterns that like I wouldn't be able to think of when it comes to like doing the drum patterns and stuff.
The theory is
Uh,
it's the theory,
yeah,
I mean, of playing real
yeah.
drums and equating that to how you put it
Yeah.
on when you execute that on pads. I mean, I mean, Mac, he showed me Mr. Haynes, but I'm gonna let you finish
Mm.
who your top five are though. But
Yeah.
yeah, when you can transfer it to that, you know, it's dope.
Yes.
Just having that theory and transferring it.
Yeah, for sure. I think like just on that as well is that like I've always really wanted to learn drums. I just don't have space for them. That's kind of why I got into finger drumming as well. But
Right.
yeah, I think I think like I really want to try and like actually learn some drums this year just to get a bit of that theory, you know, because I think it is really invaluable when it comes to like learning how to play stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, on okay, so we've got two. So we've got Beats by J Black, Mecca. I'd say David Haynes as well. He's incredible. Like in terms of like acoustic drumming style, I'd
Mm,
say he's like number one when it comes to that specific style of finger drumming.
word.
Um, Odd Kid Out as well. He was like one of the first finger drummers that I saw that
Cool.
was like
Cool.
Odd Kid Out,
No,
Odd Kid Out.
I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Never
I never
heard
heard
of
of
him.
him.
Oh,
No?
Can,
that's
can
another
you
piece of homework.
just for references? Can you just spell his name out for me 1 second, please?
Yeah, it's Odd like ODD.
Oh,
Kid,
I kid,
KID.
I kid
Oh, Kid
out,
Out, yeah.
I kid
Yeah, yeah.
out. Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know I kid
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
I kid
He's
out.
crazy, man. He
I
does
kid out.
like such
Yeah,
fast,
yeah,
like
no,
crazy breaks and stuff.
Oh man.
Um,
I'm bad.
how many did we get to? We got four.
Four.
Okay,
We
who's
have
gonna
four right
go?
now.
Yeah.
We got 4.
You got
Yeah.
one final.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with Lisa Vasquez. Like, she's
Oh,
sick.
right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh,
Word.
Yeah, she's sick. Like, she's got such a cool like hip hop flow to her stuff. Um, oh, can I do what? Oh no, I've got like two more that I like have to
honorable.
do honorable
Let's do
mentions.
2 honorables.
I
Let's do
have to
Two
do.
honorable
let's do
mentions.
2
Yeah.
honorables.
Okay, so my first honorable mention is Pedro LaCracken.
Pedro
Okay.
LaCroix.
He's a French finger drummer. He's won like the Sample Music Festival championships like I think 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
He's incredible. He's really crazy on the drums.
Hmm.
And also Pancho.
Is it just
Do you
pop?
remember? Yeah, Pancho the Trackman. Do
Poncho?
you remember Pancho Mecca, right?
Oh yeah,
He
I
did the
know.
Secret
Oh
Sauce
no,
there.
he's Poncho, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, the
Is he
Brazilian
like the
guy.
Yeah.
no? So Poncho, if I'm not mistaken, he's the guy from Mexico, correct?
I think he's Brazilian.
Brazilian or yeah, Mexico.
Yeah, yeah.
My geography is crazy off. Yes, my geography is
You
crazy off.
failed
My
citizenship. You do not.
I went to
pass.
Milwaukee Public School. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I
That's my
did
only
too.
excuse.
I
But
just want to say, like, hey,
no, yeah,
hey.
no, yeah. I do know who Poncho is. I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, he's definitely fire. He's definitely fire.
He's got such a unique sound. Like he does all the crazy like Brazilian rhythms and stuff. Like the percussion with like proper crazy bass line.
Yeah.
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 No, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that. 'Cause it's just always got that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that. It's just it make you want to dance. If you're not even a dancer, you're gonna move a little bit.
Yeah.
You at least gonna
right.
shake your head.
Right.
Something. Snap, clap, something.
Right. Hey, oh, I'm sorry. Since we on the point of Brazil and whatnot, I know it's not in Brazil, but you know, me personally, there was an accolade if I could share.
Mhm.
I have to say, shout out to a guy, Noel Humano, down in Tepic Nayarit, Mexico. I made a song 2 years ago with this young man on Instagram. And just recently, our song got played on Mexico's FM radio. So I like to applaud
No doubt, no
myself
doubt.
with that.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
only on
That's
the
lit.
only on the fact that Gnarly mentioned Poncho. So it's not my show. So sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just had to.
You're fine, man. It's just still, you know, just
Hey,
looking at the.
Hey yo, so no, it was something I want to ask you. So when it comes to your beats, when it comes to you making your joints, right? What's your because me as a finger, I gotta ask you this question as a finger drummer. What's your workout regimen? Like how often? Like, I think this is important for the finger drummers out there. If you're aspiring to be a finger drummer and all that, you know what I'm saying? Because I kind of already know what the answer is, but I just want you to say, what's your workout regimen when it comes to this finger drumming thing of ours?
I mean, I'd say I definitely don't practice as much now as I used to.
Because you already know how to.
Uh,
Right, right.
yeah, I mean, I used to spend hours and hours and hours every day, like practicing just whenever I could. Like I'd even take my machine to work with me, and just on my lunch breaks, I'd be practicing.
Nice.
Um, like nowadays, I'd say, like I try and do a beat a day if I can, if I've got time for it. But because I'm working on like so many different things now that like working on like full productions rather than just focusing on finger drumming. But I'd say I'd still do like at least 30 minutes a day kind of thing on it.
Mhm.
Nice.
Right? Man.
Nice. That
But
ain't
I think
bad.
in the beginning, like if you're aspiring, you gotta put in those 10,000 hours. I feel like I've already kind of done those 10,000, maybe even 20,000 by now. So
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah. I'm currently trying to learn finger drumming myself, and but it's just these wrists. These wrists. No, I'm just playing. So I have another question about a piece of equipment. And so for a lot of people out here, like I've noticed you worked with a handheld music sampler called a Orba 2. So can you give a brief description on what that is, and how could it be beneficial to someone's production and content library?
so Orba is basically a MIDI controller, but it's MPE. So what does MPE even stand for? Like multi MIDI expression or something. Basically, you can like move this thing around. Like you can not only just hit the pads as you would normally on like a pad controller,
Right.
you can like move your fingers along the pads to create different kind of sounds. You can like shake it, you can move it around, and it kind of creates like all these different sounds, especially when you're using synth.
Mm,
But it's kind of like a little looper as well, and you can like without having to plug it into a computer or anything, you can just have it like on the desk and just play around with it. Anywhere that you are, it's got a speaker as well. So it's basically the future, I'd say. And like if you're, like maybe you're not that musically inclined, it's something that anyone can pick up and use really easily. Like it's super intuitive.
All
mm.
right. Yeah, basically like an NPC Live Junior. So
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool. That's super cool. And then here's the thing too. It's like so now you rock. Like I said, you're. I know the main piece I seen you with is the machine. So obviously that's
Mhm.
your workflow.
Yeah,
That's your workflow right there. But
Yeah.
let's talk about this NPC live now because I done seen you get down with that, and you
yeah.
also
Recently,
yeah yeah
just recently, she started getting down with it.
yeah
Thank you, bro. I
yeah
was gonna bring that up. Thank
yeah,
you.
and I also seen the way you had it too, and is it what was that for you? Like, let me know your technique on that. Like, why did you have it sideways like that? You know what I'm saying? Like while you were doing what you were doing.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
like was it for how you had your sound set up, or did you just want to be like, you know what, I'm gonna just do this different?
Good question.
When you say sideways, what like do
Oh,
you
you
mean
you
like
you
because
didn't have it, most people have it just straight like this.
yeah.
I seen you had it this way, you know what I mean? Like you had it the long way
Yeah.
where you had the pads at you, but it was, you know what I mean? Like everything else as far as the screen and
Yeah,
all
it
of
was.
that
Yeah,
was
it was.
away from you.
Yeah, the screen was up here, but the pad.
Oh right, like tilted towards the I literally
Yeah.
just do that for videos because if I have it tilted forward, if the camera's pointed at me, it can see the pads better than if I just have it flat. So I do that for videos. Like you'll see it on some of my machine videos, I've got like this stand where it lets me have it angled down, and then when I put the pads on it, it means that like I do this for live shows as well, right? Like the audience can then see what I'm playing because I feel like with finger drumming, it's just as much about the visual element as it is about the sound itself. And so when people can see what you're doing with your hands, like that's when it makes sense. Otherwise, it just sounds like you're just playing any old beat, right? Like I could have just pressed play.
Right.
So it's for me, it's really important that the audience is able to see what I'm actually doing with my hands.
Yeah.
Basically, like a performer having to engage with the audience type stuff. This
Yeah,
is your way of engaging.
Right.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so I gotta ask you this too. I know you use more than NPC, so I can't ask you like your top five NP. I could, but what's your top five drum machine? Just your top five finger drummer controllers, just top five just beat controllers.
I would say Machine MK3,
Okay.
MPC Live 2,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
the Teenage Engineering KO2,
Right. Right.
um, SP404 Mark II,
Mm.
and on the last one, I mean, I don't have one anymore, but I would say push for the last one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, that's an Ableton
The
push,
little
right?
black
Yeah.
one.
Ableton push.
The
Mhm.
Ableton push, yeah,
Screen at the
Push.
top.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So,
Well, check this out. So okay, now we talking about these pieces and everything like
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Because now we get into the nit grit. You know what I mean? But like I said, we already know what workflow is, so we're not gonna go into that. But what is your favorite? Because obviously you're making tracks and everything like that. So what is your DAW that you use with that workflow?
Mhm.
Ableton Live.
Okay, so you
like
use
that.
okay, I like that. Ableton Live. That's what's up. Are you familiar with any other DAWs?
Yeah, so when I was at school, we worked on Cubase to begin with, and
Cubase.
then
Wow. How
yeah,
many years?
Cubase,
Remember
yeah,
Cubase?
back in the days, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that was probably like more than 15 years ago now that we
Right.
were
Oh,
using
yeah.
I was gonna
Cubase.
We
say, did
already
they come out with a
A
new Cubase?
long time ago, yeah. But
Yeah.
we were then using Logic Pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I used Logic for like years and years. I did a little bit of Pro Tools at uni as well. And then when I like finished all of that, I started using Ableton because well, Logic is good, but this was like the old Logic 9, and there was a lot of problems, like especially with system overload. So like you'd have a certain amount of tracks and the computer just couldn't keep up with it. Like
Let's see.
technology is a lot better nowadays. I'm sure Logic is like amazing now, but
Yeah, but the
I started using
CPU
Ableton.
usage.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Ableton's like just much better with that. It doesn't really crash as often. So that's one of the reasons why I switched over. Also because I was getting into doing live performance and stuff, and Ableton's just it's like made for that.
So
Man.
and like
That's super
also
cool.
you teach finger drumming as well. I want to
Yeah.
talk about that. I want to talk about
What?
yeah, she teaches. You can pick up the gnarly course.
Whoa.
Man,
Whoa.
can you just talk about because like also I don't know if you knew, but I actually work with I'm actually one of the instructors for Finger Drumming Academy with Beast by
Yeah,
J.
I saw that. Yeah, man. That's
Yeah,
wicked. That's
so
awesome.
I mean, but
Big up the Finger Drumming Academy.
oh yeah,
First
no
of
Yeah.
doubt,
all,
big up, yeah.
that's super cool, man.
Yes.
But if you could just talk about um that for a minute, as far as just your method of teaching, and as far as no any advice that you can give um any producer out there that wanna maybe get into finger drumming.
Like the main way that I teach is through Patreon. So I have like a Patreon page where I do exclusive tutorial content
Mhm.
on. So like twice a month I'll upload a video. A lot of the time it's just like showing me doing like a live stream of how I put together a finger drumming routine. So it's super useful if you want to know like my workflow and how I, set up the pads and everything, and then get into actually like playing the beats with them. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of content on there, video content, but you can also book one-to-ones with me. So I guess in a way it's similar to Finger Drumming Academy in the sense that like you can find an instructor and like book a session with me, and then depending on what tier you're on is like how much time you get with me. So some people might only do half an hour a month, some people might do an hour, or I think the top tier you can get 2 hours, or split that into four half an hour sessions. So you'd get like one a week essentially.
Mhm.
Um, I really like doing the one-to-ones. I feel like it's a really good way of doing finger drumming because I feel like each person has their own individual journey and their own roadblocks and like what they want to learn. So in that way, you can really like see where someone's needing improvement and help like facilitate that and coach them on their specific needs when it comes to improving their finger drumming.
Okay.
That's dope. And shout out again, dude. Look, you got it going on, Gnarly.
Right.
Come on. You legit got it going on. Like for real. Like I can't
Thank
like
you.
I'm sitting here in awe, because I'm just like for one, you so down to earth and humble.
Yeah, super.
Like you're super chill about like what you're saying, but it's like a
Mhm.
lot. You know what I'm saying? If I was you, I'd be like way more hype. Like, and I'm not. This is not
Right.
criticism. I'm
Yeah.
just saying I would be way more hype. Like,
Okay.
yo,
Yeah.
Holler
I
every
actually
now
got
and then, like, yeah, well,
I might,
eh.
do the wave a little bit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I actually got one more question to speaking. I want to add on to what Elite was saying. How do you? Because you're extremely consistent, right? Like with the finger drumming videos, right? I think if I'm not mistaken, you probably make like 2 or 3 a week. I don't know, like how do you stay so consistent with your finger drumming videos? Also, very important question. What do you use to so the video and the sound can record at the same time?
Great
Yeah. What
question.
interface do you
Yeah.
use?
Great
So,
question.
I mean, it kind of depends on the situation because, like sometimes I might not be in the studio. So it kind of depends on A, what control I have, and B, where I am. And so, well, like when I first started, I'd probably say the easiest way to like record any kind of beat videos and stuff, if that's something you're looking to get into, is to get yourself like an iRig or something like that. And you can plug that straight into your phone, have a line out from your device or whatever straight into that, and then it's all done. Um, Me personally, like if I'm in the studio, I'll actually just record myself in Ableton, so I'll resample whatever I'm playing. That way I can like mix and master it a little bit and then sync it to the video afterwards. If I'm not in the studio, I have like a Zoom recorder, which I a lot of the time will just line out straight into the Zoom recorder. But I've recently invested in a Rode wireless mic system, and basically that lets me do the same thing as I would on a Zoom, except instead of having loads of wires going into Zoom, I can just do it wirelessly. Like I have a little wire that goes into the Rode mic, and then that can just be attached straight into my phone. And so it's just, yeah, it's a lot easier.
Right.
No.
Right.
Hey yo, so before we get out of here, we got 2 minutes. Gnarly, so what's up next like what's up next for Gnarly? What other projects you got going on and what can we look forward to in the future?
I'm working on like a lot of music at the moment. So I think this year is going to be a lot of releases and a lot of collabs. So it's something that I was doing pre-pandemic. I was like trying to do in-person collabs a lot. And then the pandemic happened, and obviously like I wasn't, seeing people anymore. So I was just kind of doing a lot of stuff solo. And this year has been really like doing a lot of in-person collabs again. And so I'm hoping this year we're gonna see a lot of music released. That's gonna be like a big collaboration project for me.
No doubt.
That's
No
what's up.
doubt. The Pad Masters Radio Show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gnarly Music.
No,
Thank you for having me.
this was
Appreciate you
awesome.
guys.
So 5,
Yeah,
yo.
beautiful interview.
Until next week. Let's go.
You know it.